Environmental tobacco smoke, ETS, is a politically potent weapon in the anti-smoking lobby's armory, and they're committed to using it on a global scale. Moreover, anti-smoking groups are using scientifically unproven ETS claims to create health concerns in non-smokers. The tobacco industry as a whole has not previously been convinced of the urgency and manner with which the issue of ETS should be dealt. However, it is becoming more apparent that growing concerns about ETS must be addressed, and this can only be achieved through coordinated campaign action. A clear strategy and a proactive program are essential for a successful campaign. To help you, InfoTAB has produced a new product, Seizing the Initiative. It has been carefully researched and tested with a selection of the industry worldwide and contains the most up-to-date material. The product, Seizing the Initiative, consists of a number of different documents which together form the elements of an ETS action plan. A central strategy document, a brief guide, sectoral guides for the workplace, leisure, public transport, and airlines. 2 scientific guides, sample press statements, and finally, a small document called Benefits of Hindsight, which is a selection of hints from National Manufacturers Associations, NMAs, following their campaign experience. The central strategy document is at the core of the product and contains the statement of strategic intent. The initial goal is to establish both a credibility and acceptance of balanced scientific evidence presented by the industry on the issue of ETS. That base must be established before countering specific restrictions. It also explains the need for proactive campaigns and their benefits, and outlines the 3 main elements of the strategy: attitude research, public campaigns, and targeted campaigns. Turning then to attitude research. Before any campaign, it's essential to measure the current climate. Such things as attitude, perception, and beliefs will all play a part in how people perceive ETS. It's also important to identify the priority level that ETS occupies and how it's seen in relation to other issues. All of these will, of course, vary with different audiences, and so we need to classify the separate groups and research and evaluate them individually. Key audiences, while a matter of local identification, will normally fall into 3 categories: legislators and those who inform and advise them, as ultimately governments determine public health policies. This would include central government ministers and their staff, civil servants, and local government officials and representatives. Then there are those who exert control over smoking policies in the key areas of public transport, leisure, and the workplace. These would be local management, and in the case of large national and multinational organizations, they would include head office policy-making departments, such as personnel departments. In some countries, there are regulatory bodies and advisory groups who give advice and offer recommendations on policy decisions. And last, but by no means least, the general public. The information gained from the research can then be used in public and targeted campaigns to address those specific concerns identified from each of those audiences. Turning to public campaigns. The role of the public campaign is to establish communication with the general public and impart the key industry propositions. The tobacco industry has a case that needs to be heard, and the public must be made aware of the full debate. The industry's case is centered upon fact and is genuinely concerned with the results of scientific investigation. ETS is not a scientifically proven cause of disease in non-smokers, nor is it a significant factor in indoor air quality. However, the industry does recognize that some people find ETS annoying in certain circumstances, and therefore tolerance and courtesy have become key features of the public campaign. There is nothing new about people finding the behaviors of others annoying. The world is full of petty annoyances where different people live and work together. Society depends on mutual consideration, and most of us resolve our daily differences in a spirit of courtesy and accommodation. These same principles must apply between smokers and non-smokers, with mutual respect and tolerance where personal choices and preferences differ. To help you design a public campaign, Seizing the Initiative provides a number of sample guides, press statements, and an options menu of various supporting activities. Of the guides, the brief guide explains ETS in a manner that is clear, concise, and easy to read. It is particularly suitable for use as a direct mailing. This is complemented by 2 scientific guides, which discuss the issue of ETS in a more detailed manner. The first explores and debates the impact of ETS on indoor air quality. The second is a detailed review of the reports and studies which discuss alleged health effects from ETS. In a campaign, it's important that a full range of activities is used to support the public campaign, and accordingly, an options menu has been included with the public campaign section of the strategies document to enable self-selection of various advertising and public relations activities. It's in this section that the more active elements are contained. Certainly, the test market audience expressed a need to carry out communications in every available medium, especially the spoken word. They also emphasized the potential role of the media in influencing how much of the ETS debate was publicized, hence the inclusion of the press statements. The public campaign is the cornerstone of the strategy. Its success will be reflected in public opinion, which is a key influence if further restrictions are to be avoided. Finally, targeted campaigns. The targeted campaigns are designed to deliver deliberately and systematically the relevant arguments to specialist sectoral areas, the scientific basis having been first established in the public campaign. The sectors covered by the guides are public transport, airlines, leisure, and workplace. Each specialist guide can also be combined with the brief and scientific guides. Together, they form a comprehensive corporate information pack. Also, within the targeted campaign section is an options menu of various other activities which will add to the reach of the campaign. At this stage, you will probably think that enough has been done and that the targeted campaign is the final element. Not so. What Seizing the Initiative is advocating is a continuous process of evaluation through attitude research, followed by the planning and execution of public and targeted campaign action. So finally, how can Seizing the Initiative be used within your market with its different laws, cultures, languages, and beliefs impacting upon how the product is best implemented? First, extensive research and dialogue was undertaken with a number of key industry representatives from companies and NMAs to ensure all-important industry support. Next, InfoTAB is offering further assistance in fine-tuning the product to meet specific market conditions. This assistance should be requested direct from InfoTAB. Ultimately, your own expertise and knowledge of your marketplace will determine when the conditions are right to run a campaign. Seizing the Initiative urges you to check on this and proposes an action plan and materials for you to use. Remember, ETS is an issue. It's not going to go away.